All right, guys, we're back. Today we're going to talk about when favor irritates others, and I actually would say when favor from God irritates demons inside of other people. Because I think that's what's going on. Because I think favor from God will give you favor with man also. That's what I truly think, and I could be wrong.
That's right. It tells us so.
But let's go ahead and start with what I think God's favor is. I think God's favor is neither random nor fair by human standards. It's divinely dispensed to advance his purposes. And so if he can use you, then he'll divinely dispense you some favor if he can use you for his purpose. That's what I think. And that favor provokes demonic schemes against you. That's what I think. And so this is a topic that you wanted to talk about. And since you wanted to talk about it, I want to really talk about it. And what do you think about your favor irritating and or bothering others? Demons, their bad minds, their bad attitudes, it just bothers them that said person might have favor, sudden opening of doors. Everything just happens is with ease for you. They call it luck, but I've been living for 41 years now, and there's no such thing as luck, but there is a such thing as divine favor from the Lord. And so, what do you think about that?
I think favor does exactly what it's supposed to do, whether it's opening doors or irritating somebody. When you have favor is from God. God is love and light. And so if God's light is shining on me and it shines on a part of you that irritates you, that bothers you, I ain't did nothing to you. I come around and just something about me mess with you. It's doing what it's supposed to do, and you need to self-evaluate and figure out, especially if you're a believer, you need to do, and there's nothing wrong with that because we're human. And I self-evaluate, like I have had situations where I just don't care, and I had to really make sure my goal daily is to be pleasing in God's sight, whether I fall, long as I'm striving for that, long as I'm trying to get that. So I try to self-evaluate, like, whatever that is, or when it's exposed on me, or when it's, what I'm saying, shows on me, I want to remove that. So I think that's exactly what it's supposed to do.
Can you give us a quick definition of what divine favor is for you?
A definition? No, I don't know.
Well, I mean, just what divine favor is
Okay,
for
so
you.
so I would give, if you know the story of Joseph.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Joseph had divine favor on his life. It didn't matter. And I'm talking about Joseph, who brothers sold him into slavery, right? Like Joseph was so different. He was so unique. He was loved by his father. He was even loved by his brothers, because really, when you have that type of hate, it's really a secret admiration. You know what I'm saying? But some people can't handle that and don't want to admit that. So they go to an extreme. So these people went to an extreme and sold him because of the favor that was on his life. And then because the favor was on his life, it didn't matter what season he was in. So when he was sold into slavery, he still had favor to where the king wanted to bring him out. And then even then, the favor still irritated somebody to where the woman lied on him. The man's wife lied on him. He was thrown in jail. Favor was still on him. You see what I'm saying? Like that type of favor, it don't matter what season, God put favor on Joseph's life, and it showed no matter good, bad, down, up. You know what I'm saying? It was on his life.
Now, the ups and downs of brother Joseph's life and the ultimate triumph, which is awesome, but the ups and downs, the hills and valleys, the down part, the slavery part, the I got locked up part because she lied on me part, you know, is that also favor too? Do you think that God wanted him to go through the bad times too? Because I can't take you to the ultimate triumph without having you in this hole right here.
I think you said something that God uses people favor. God uses people in their favor, right? God used Joseph to be able to be an example
for his purpose, for
for
God's
his
purpose.
purpose.
Yeah.
So that's exactly why God part of allowed it. You know what I'm saying? Was it right? I mean, the woman clearly lied on this man and they threw him in the prison, but it all worked for the good. You know what I'm saying? Of what's the scripture? It all comes for the, I mean, works for the good of those who love the Lord, according to his purpose. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think it was good because the beauty about favor is it don't matter what situation you in. When his God favor is on your life, it can be at your lowest point. You can be at your lowest point where people like I couldn't be able to handle it. And you ever been seeing them type of people or been in a situation where someone else would have lost their mind in it, but you just cruising that life is still straight for you, like, and people be like amazed, like, how are you handling it? That's favor, you know what I'm saying? Like to have that type of mindset to be able to get through, to go through those hardest times in life and still nothing touches you or bothers you, like it's nothing but God because it's not the typical situation.
Yeah, and I think favor on somebody else's life is sometimes it can be very clear to see, and sometimes you cannot even you could not even see it at all.
You don't think you can recognize favor on people?
I mean, when Joseph was locked up, could anybody recognize that? You see,
Yeah, there was some guys in there that he interpreted a dream, and that when they was released, one remembered him because they remember something was special about this man that I was locked up with. So yeah, I think it don't matter where you at. People can see. They might not know or understand what they're recognizing, but they know it's something different. It's something special. It's something unique. It's something. It's something about this person. Yeah, I think they see it.
yeah, I think sometimes you could go without seeing it, or you could be blinded to the favor on somebody else's life simply because it's not your life, and it could look like they're in a tribulation period or tribulation era within their personal life right now, and you could not see the favor on their lives right then. That's what I personally think, and I also think like sometimes favor is almost like a seed that's in the ground, and you can't see the seed when it's in the ground, and then when it come out and sprout out, of course you can see it. It's evident then. But I think you can still have. I think, of course, he still had favor of God in locked up, I'm trying to relate it to modern day, and I think it's a lot of people who we can't see it on or whatever might not say, hey, that's favor from God. We don't know. We might not know for another 5, 10 years, you know. And it just is what it is. I think it's just so random and so godly that we just humans, But now the demonic irritation of it all. This is the effect to the cause from the cause of God's favor. The effect from outside sources, people outside of you, and people also outside of God's favor, obviously.
Yeah,
And the unfairness of God's favor because He have it on.
who he pleases.
Well, that's mercy, but the favor too.
I think mercy is given to everyone. Favor is not.
I don't know. I mean, I think mercy is not given to everyone. I don't know if he's going to have mercy on Hitler. You see, but he had mercy upon whom he pleased, and you can go check that. That's Bible 100%, 101 Bible.
Yeah.
This Bible 101. Yeah, we learned that at 10. And so favor, it doesn't specifically say that I'm just dishing out favor in the Bible. It just doesn't specifically say that. It doesn't not say that everybody gets some favor. But I don't think everybody getting favor out here. And it's pretty evident that everybody's not getting favor out here. Just from a worldly perspective, just the lucky guy who always lands the job, always does good on the interview, lands the perfect relationship, was blessed with kids with 4 limbs and thinking minds. I mean, my God, that alone is favor. Nothing to do with a bag, nothing to do with success. You see, that's just favor to me.
I agree.
And everybody don't got that. Some people can't get a job to save their life. Some people got 4 baby mamas. Some people got two down DS kids. I don't know how to say it. I'm trying to be, appropriate. And so that's what I think about favor. I think it's just such a nuanced thing, a godly thing that you just can't put a pinpoint on it.
I have something that says signs of God's favor on someone's life. One, doors open that others can't. They can't explain why they open them. The doors is just open. People are drawn to help or bless them. They rise even after setbacks. I think that's self-explanatory. There's peace and strength under pressure. We kind of was talking about that. And God gets the glory, not just their talent. And yeah, I totally agree with you. Like there are some people that God just favors them, and it does. It overflows into their children, this and that. And that's not to say God is not favoring the ones who have complications or this, But there are evidence that shows that God does not favor everyone. He doesn't. And sometimes when his favor is on your life, it's going to upset people. It's going to be so different. Like God's favor is so different. It's such a blessing and it's so real and so big. You know what I'm saying? It irritates people. It does. I mean, Joseph's brother sold him. It bothered them so bad that he was that unique. We was speaking
But a
about
dad loved it, Joseph, didn't
man, his dad
Man,
loved
he
him.
loved
His
him.
dad loved him. He loved his mother. This was the son. All them other sons weren't even by the one I really wanted.
In America, we be capping like nobody don't got favorite kids and things like that. I mean, we do.
Well, in
But
that case,
at least in the Bible, at least the dad had kept it real. Like everybody knew
well,
that he
in that
loved
case, he
Joseph.
worked for Joseph's mother. Let's not forget that. Like the man gave him Leah first, and he was like, "No, I'm
I
gonna work
get it,
on the
babe.
mother." Yeah,
They
so
might not know.
okay,
They
I'm
might not.
sorry.
Don't do
So
him like that.
okay,
Yeah. But yeah, I want to know what do you think? Why do you think demonic forces rage so hard against someone who's walking in favor? I want to know what. Yeah, I want to know your real thoughts.
okay. So someone is walking in favor. That means they're positioned in favor. So they're walking in obedience. They're walking in humility. They're walk.
No, they're just walking in favor. Favor ain't fair. Favor, you could be a sinner man. You could not be a man after God's own heart. Okay, favor. I favor you. Okay, you get that?
So you think the demons are upset with just anyone with favor, not
Yeah,
positioned in
especially
favor?
somebody who not walking in what you talking about, who not walking in purpose of God.
So if I had to just think, why would a demon be so mad, so angry, and work so hard through someone to deter me because I am walking in favor? Is because obviously that purpose that God wants to get the glory out of is so huge and so big. It's gonna do everything it can it's an assignment. It's not just, oh, I don't like her, and then eventually maybe learn this person and get to like her. It's an assignment from hell, and if hell's going through that type of hoops to get to me, yeah, then that means I got a purpose or something that God really is gonna get some glory out of. If I had to just think off my head, yeah.
I think personally that the flesh is already so weak, and then if you don't tame it, control it, teach it, if the flesh isn't taught, the flesh instantly gonna be jealous. He don't even work nowhere near hard as me. How he get the position over me? And I signed up for the position too. Man, why you jealous, man? Why you can't be happy for him? You might can't be happy for them because you might can't see yourself flourishing and rising above and getting that new position at work or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. Why did Rick choose her? She's a fat, hungry blob. Well, God might favor her and then didn't favor you. You might be real pretty and with the worst attitude, and Rick didn't like that. You see? I'm talking
So
about these just worldly examples of people's demons being irritated just by simple favor.
I mean, someone can have favor and another person can be irritated, not that they're jealous, but they just don't want to see this person rise to their full potential because they don't want them to reach to where they are. Or they don't want, I think that's a part of it.
Beyond jealousy, that's
I think it goes, it's very deep. But I think the person you mentioned being tamed and getting your flesh,
you.
together and
You're
discipline.
supposed to bring yourself under subjection.
But we should do that period as
Period.
people. So
That's what I
whether
was
you
talking about in
have favor
general.
in your life or not, because you could be a person in favor. I mean, Samson, is it Samson that he was walking in favor, but look how Delilah did him. Just saying, he had favor of looks and hair and strength, and he was this good looking man, and I think he was caught up into his favor, and that's how he got
Yeah,
with Delilah.
Samson was outside.
That's
All he
why,
had
but that's
was
why you have
favor.
to be
Yeah, Samson was
be
outside.
disciplined, and like you said, disciplined and tamed. You to
Well,
know.
well, what I was talking about is the non-favored person without tamed flesh who doesn't try to bring themselves under subjection. Maybe doesn't know anything about the church, or maybe doesn't know anything about the word, or don't know that they need to be trying to bring themselves under subjection. Might don't know that what a negative thought is. Janard thinks she cute. She might don't know that was a negative thought. She might not have been taught that. I'm talking about an untamed, just a animal, an animalistic human, that don't know anything about the word, you know what I'm saying, and probably don't know anything about just human decency, that, hey, that jealousy is a spirit, hatred is a spirit, you see what I'm saying? Yeah,
So
a covetousness is a spirit. You know what I'm saying? You want what somebody else got. You see what I'm saying? That's a spirit. And you need to bring that under subjection.
But even if they don't know how to do that, and like you said, they're not into church and they don't know this stuff, you can start as simple as just thinking positive, wanting people to just want people to don't. If something in your heart to just hate somebody for no reason,
Replace the negative thought.
yeah, just replace negative with positive. Try to do good over bad. Simple stuff. You ain't got to even know the Bible stories or this, like just simple little stuff that you should do as a decent human being. Do good over bad. Be nice to people. That's the type of stuff that's going to attract you what you need and put you on the right path to where you need to go. That's the advice I would give someone like that. You ain't got to know because a lot of times we don't know. I was a person who didn't know what I know now and was on and I didn't like how I done someone and they told me how I done them or made them feel and I wanted to do better. So I tried to be nice to people. I started living and I do that. Like it's natural now. I like to be nice to people. I try to show them love. It's not hard to do to be positive over negative. You help yourself doing that.
I agree with that. Now, I want to ask you what I think might be a bit of a difficult question. Is it a difference, or how can you tell the difference? How can you discern a natural favor, with luck, just natural luck, and supernatural favor?
I don't believe in luck.
So everything is supernatural favor.
I believe that everything, for as far as me and my walk and with God, I ain't no luck had nothing to do with what's been going on. You know what I'm saying? That has went on 41 years of my life. That ain't nothing but God.
Now, let me ask you a more difficult question because I thought you'd give that answer. Who the Sadducees and the Pharisees was the people who be hating on Jesus all the time and asking him all the weird questions. That's the person. Those the people, right? The Pharisees and the Sadducees. So I'm gonna be the Pharisees and the Sadducees right now, and I'm gonna ask the most rhetorical, up-to-date 2025 question. Now, is it favor when I go to the casino? Is it favor from God when I go to the casino and hit for 15,000?
Again, I don't think
I just had to do it.
I don't know,
Right,
honestly.
right.
And the reason I'm gonna say this because there have been people. It just depends on your level of Christ in your life. So I have seen and known a person pray to God as they're going to gamble. But when you know better, you do better, right? So if you know better and know that gambling is not of God, I don't think God is going to show favor with that. But again, God has everything worked according to purpose, and just because it's in His purpose, don't mean His favor. So if you hit for 15,000, that don't mean that was His favor on your life. Maybe it was His purpose, and His purpose wanted you to have 15,000.
But we did establish that it wasn't luck.
I don't believe in luck.
Right.
Yeah, I don't believe in luck.
Right.
I believe God allows good things to happen.
And all that's good and perfect
Comes from
comes
the
from him.
Lord.
And in all things, money is good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and money
money
answers.
answereth all
That's
things.
what it
Yeah,
said.
yeah, yeah. So money answereth all things. I hit for 15,000, and all that's good and perfect comes from him.
And the devil's, I mean, God said that the money will
I
give
know it's
you
controversial.
defense against the devil.
Money give you
Defense.
the yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I seen that in the Bible. I read it.
yeah,
He said he would give you money for the defense
yeah.
of the enemy. Of you know what I'm saying. So
Me,
maybe that person needed that defense at
me,
that
me
time.
going to the gambling house ain't me going and making the God's house a den of thieves or nothing like that. I ain't going to sell nothing at the lower house. I went to the gambling house. I prayed before I went to the gambling house. You say, people who prayed before they
I
went to the
do,
gambling
and
house.
they actually hit.
That's crazy. And they hit.
My mother is one. My mother was one, but that's what she at with it. Like I don't think it would work for me.
Yeah. I just think that all is
To
good and
be
perfect
honest,
comes from him.
it does.
Yeah. Okay. Just a little bit more real quick on people being irritated by favor. Do you think that it's favor to be born a certain way? Like maybe with height or with a certain type of shape or with a certain dark, beautiful skin or just to be born a good looking man or a good looking woman. Is that favor to you? And
No,
that's not favor?
not
That's
to
just
me.
genetics.
I just think some people, I mean, all good things come from the Lord, but favor is different. Like I said, favor opens doors. Favor does the unexplainable that people like you be wondering, like, favor is when you can't explain something and only God gets the glory. You know what I'm saying? Favor is, it's not just good looks or something good happened to them or they're in a good position. No, I don't think that's just favor. I think that's a part of favor. I think that's a part of being positioned in favor. Like he opens such many opportunities, but no, I don't believe that. No.
I actually do think
See,
that
I
there's
don't.
favor because I think the majority of people are aesthetically non-pleasing, short, stubby, fat, stinky. And I do think that, I'm talking about the majority of people. And so I do think that there's a big favor, okay? I remember one of my favorite Bible characters, Sarah, got caught up and the king's henchmen got her and they said, oh man, she's so bad, we got to take her to the king. And they took her to the king and I think they might have even threw Joseph in the dungeon or something. And then once the king realized all this, oh, I can't touch her. And so the Lord it's got some on her, not just because of her beauty, but he had some on her. She was already married to Joseph. I mean, to Abram. And so God didn't allow him to touch her, the king. And so once the king realized, oh man, I can't touch her, she got favor on her, let me go get her husband out now, who lied to me. See if he didn't lie. He might never got thrown locked up. I don't know. What he felt like he would have got killed if he didn't lie.
He felt like he
And,
needed
and,
to
and,
lie.
and, and so he brought him to him and favored Abram with the bag, gave him his wife back, and whatever he wanted to do in his land while he was there. And so to me, I think that being aesthetically pleasing, having some height, my God, I think about 90% of the entire world is like 4 to 5 foot tall. That's about it. So if you like 5'5" as a man, like you're favored. I think so.
I think favor can come in forms. God gives favor in looks and beauty.
Yeah,
I think favor is anything that you cannot explain that you can only give God credit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, 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 yeah,
When you
yeah.
have extraordinary strength to where
That's favor.
you're going through some stuff and other people you have seen fall to the wayside. They did not make it through, but you get
Knew
that's
they was gonna
favor.
fold.
So you have favor. Like God favor is just the unexplainable. It can come in looks. It can come in strength. It can come in opportunities. It's just when God is on your life and unexplainable things are happening where you know it's not your own. You know what I'm saying? Own doing. That's what I think. I
Now,
don't think it's just one particular category.
I do, yeah, yeah. I think favor is many things. I was talking about one particular thing. Now I was asking just one
Yeah.
particular question. That's all about favor, which is covers a broad spectrum of blessings. Anyway, how do you feel that? What do you think that a person can do if they feel their self being irritated by someone else's positivity, and that's all. Just someone else's favor, and I'm getting irritated. They walk through, or they successful. Is there anything that I can do to recognize that, and or to, because of course, the purpose of this is to try to help anyone. You know what I'm saying? Because some people do deal with their demons being irritated by favor on others' lives. And so, is there anything that someone can do to recognize that and try to combat that?
I, I, I said it before, I say it again. I call it a temperature check, a self evaluation. If I find myself getting irritated for no reason, if I find myself getting angry for no reason, anything that's going to take me out of the goal that I'm striving for, which is to be pleasing to God and to walk in His fruits of the Spirit, anything that's going to deviate from me from that, I do what I call a temperature check, and I see what is within me that needs removed, healed, growth, whatever that area is, because they have all look different from me. Some area